Hello, welcome back to another bullshit podcast.
That's
Still
right.
untitled.
That's right.
Yeah, we can't use the name untitled because that's what Adam Savage has. Adam Savage has an untitled podcast. Not even podcast. It's just like bullshit cast. I don't even know what they call it.
I mean, I call mine the Dave's Dumpster Podcast.
Dave's Dumpster Pod. But yeah, I'm here. So you guys
So
can
you
like
can
Dave
call-
and Friends, or you can you can put me into a bubble or something.
Call it like Talk of the Gym, since you're like
Talk of the
gymnologized.
Talk to the gyms. I don't want to be the mainstream. I want to be 50-50, like Rhett and Link, whatever those people are. I want to talk about creators we like, because I feel like we're really separate on the creators that we like individually. Because you say you like Rhett and Link, and I hate Rhett and Link.
Right,
I mean, I don't hate their content necessarily. It's just they're so like whitewashed. They're so Disney, They're so Disney brand. Like, I'm a Filthy Frank type of guy, because like.
No, I mean, I like them too.
Yeah, like you either like hated Filthy Frank,
but his channel like is kind of dead since he took on the music career, and
Yeah, I
now
know,
he's
his channel is
Joji
dead.
now.
but I'm saying I still love the guy. If he came back,
Oh yeah, I definitely watch his videos.
yeah,
if he
came back, if I just saw one rogue video that just came out of the woodwork and started and he posted it, I would be up for it.
It depends, because it seems like he kind of changed as a person.
Everyone changes.
Yeah,
I don't like. Okay, here we go. Here's our first thought. I don't like when people say, "I wish we had the real Kanye, the old Kanye, the used to be Kanye." I'm like, no, okay, that's not how life works. Everyone develops.
But it's because we know that, whatever you want to call it, the quote-unquote clout, that it changes people, and without that influence that person had experienced,
Right.
they would be different.
Simple question. Okay, were you the same person 5 years ago?
Obviously not.
Of course not. Were you the same
But
person 5 years
It
before
was
that?
a turning point in my life because, I mean,
Are you
I'm coming out of my
right now?
teenager.
Do you agree with me, or do you not agree with me?
What about people changing?
No, about I want the old Kanye, the real Kanye, like that since like
I mean,
Ninja.
I can understand that, but it's like if you change, and there was no like seemingly external
So you agree with me?
influence to it, then I could see why, from that perspective. But in his case, it's kind of like unique in the way that he kind of changed along with his music career taking off. You know what I mean? Like, there was an influence to that.
Yeah, because he's always been a musical guy. Like, you could see in his videos and everything, he was a musical person in general.
Yeah.
So, hey, excuse me, person in the back? Shut your mouth. He just gave the finger. But, yeah, I mean, cause, like, I mean, I know it's a minority, because I think the problem is now, is that I think, like, life's so perfect. Like, life's just so perfect now, that whenever there's a little situation that comes awry and like people are getting outraged or whatever, it's just such a small amount of people. Like, there's like certain outliers, like Harvey Weinstein, excommunicated. No one likes him anymore. Fucking Bill Cosby. No one. Yeah, it's a big zilch. But then you got small ones like Aziz Ansari. It's like, okay, and what do? You just had an awkward date. Did you hear about that or no?
I've heard of them.
I
seemingly never hear about anything that you talk about on this podcast.
He was flirting. It got real awkward because the lady was like, "Hey, I don't want to have sex." And he was like, "Come on, let's just have sex." He's like, "No, I don't want to." I mean, she was like, "Oh, I don't want to have sex." And they got real awkward real fast. And he just had an awkward date. But then the lady decided, "Hey, let me get some clout." And post it on social media.
First of all, it's like, why would you even ask for sex on the first date? I mean, I could see...
What didn't you say? Okay.
I mean, I could see if it's some, like, casual crap. And you know what? I'm going to make people hate me for this, but, like,
oh, no.
I don't see casual, intercourse and stuff like that as, like...
Well, no one's going to hate it. They're just going to think, oh, okay, he doesn't like living that way. People have certain needs.
I mean,
like, different.
Do I respect the people who want to have casual sex? Like, yeah, I could see people trying to get, like, bust a nut or whatever, just trying to, get their sexual urge out of the way. But it's just like,
and the fact of how young you are, I think we have to realize how young we really are. I don't think you really hone in. Like 2 years ago, you're 18 now, right?
No.
19? What are you?
I'm an age.
You don't want to say?
I mean, okay,
is that too yeah, like
I'm 19 years old.
Okay, yeah. 3 years ago, you were 16.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about the changes you were going through at the time. 3 years, just 3 years ago, not that long. You were 16. Isn't that like it's just kind of like you gotta think about it like 2 years from now you'll be 21, but 2 years before you're like 17. That's kind of crazy. Like how dumb you were, how dumb you are right now, how dumb I am right now, and for us to have
I was waiting for that trigger moment.
Yeah, yeah, I'm dumb too. I'm not gonna say I'm like fucking like Picasso or some shit. We're both dumb though. And, you know, when we have an opinion, I know in 5 years from now, we're going to have opinions that are going to change. Like, right now, I believe abortion should be legal. I mean, abortion, like, you should be able to have an abortion if you want to. I know there should be some restrictions, but I think the ability to have it should still be around. Now, I may disagree with that view in a few years, but as of now, as of who I am in 2019, I agree with my viewpoint. And, you know, I may see some new information in the future that may make me change that.
Right,
you know?
like we were talking about previously about, like, the abortion topic
episode,
and everything.
Yes.
Or even just in previous conversations in general.
You're really far back from your mic, by the way. I just want to say that now.
I know.
You're really going, like, into...
Remember,
it's like a therapist
I have
session.
the 0.92 volume thingy going on.
Alright, a little bit behind the scenes.
Yeah, but anyway, back to the abortion topic or whatever.
Oh, no.
Back when we were talking about it, I mean, I hate to bring this up, but let's say someone got raped, got pregnant because of that kind of stuff.
It is a classic one.
I mean, of course,
I
think it would be okay for the miscarriage, or, you know,
miscarriage.
Or not a miscarriage, but the abortion leading to that instant. You know, I mean, that's kind of just like my opinion, but I think a lot of people would agree from that.
I feel like we should have like a warm up before we actually record this thing.
Yeah.
Because God damn.
I'm so, it feels like stalled.
You're so stalled. It felt like you're like, I'm trying to rev you up. Like,
I'm just
you know like those old motorcycles, like the old Harleys, where like you have to crank it to get it started. And I'm just like trying to get you started.
Because like I'm trying to formulate stuff in my head as
don't
I'm talking.
Formulate. Just have free form conversation. Like I know there's some people that we know that are in this room that can't do that.
But you try and think of stuff in a way that's like not, you know, totally offensive to most audiences.
Okay, because don't talk like Elon Musk. Okay, no one likes talking like Elon Musk. I like because he's smart. But I'm sorry to tell you this.
The dude's a millionaire.
Billionaire, but we're at a certain level where we don't have to. This is the free form. The more words, the more fluent it is, the more natural it seems. When you spend more time thinking about the words you're going to say next, then the more disingenuous it is.
But like, it's the thought that makes the podcast provocative.
The thoughts. I mean, but because no one really knows who we are, though.
That's right, but they don't need to. They just want to know about the thoughts that make the podcast provocative.
Why do they want to know our thoughts and not other people's that are more, you know?
Well, then why
mainstream?
else? Why would they be listening to our podcast? You know?
Well, maybe because they know you. No one watches my thing, because I do this for like it's like a therapeutic thing, because you know I think there's because inherently we're social animals. You know, we need conversation, this is mostly just an outlet for me to express conversation. If somebody watches it, if like somebody from our friend group watched it, I'm like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. You know, it's cool. But if somebody from the outside watched it, I'd be like, why are you watching this? Like, wouldn't you be surprised if right now we got a ton of subscribers? Wouldn't you be genuinely surprised? Now we're going through a subject actually you have an opinion on. Would you be honestly surprised if we actually got viewership? If we had, like, I don't know, where my video, like the video that we post after this, it's going to be like 6,000 views. Even 6,000 views, which isn't a lot in YouTube standards, but is a lot in our standards.
Right. Yeah.
Wouldn't you be genuinely surprised? You'd be like, how? Why? We're doing nothing productive. We're doing nothing new. I mean, we're doing something.
I would be surprised that it happened in probably the instance that it had. But aside from that, I wouldn't be surprised because I feel like the material that we put out there is kind of like unique in not only our own way, but in the way of like YouTube creator content. You know, I feel like it needs to be recognized for that. But just because we're such, you know, like, I don't know, just like we're not publicized. We're not people that are totally out there. Yeah. So, of course, we're not going to hit that standard of like getting thousands of views. But yeah, it would surprise me nonetheless. Yeah, because like if I saw even like 100 views on a video, I'd honestly be losing. I'd be like, I start questioning, like, did I get hacked? Is there a nude of me out there? What's going on? I had that on a previous channel. You had a nude? No, not a nude. Oh. I had more than 100 views on a previous video that I had. What was it? Not on Not on this channel that I have, but I had another channel.
Oh, okay. What was the video?
Maybe I'll give the name away, in a later video. But yeah.
What was the video?
I'll let people think about that. It was on like how to throw different pitches.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
it's baseball.
Okay. Cause like I thought, cause I know a lot about like vinyl records and stuff like that, as you know.
Yeah. So if you made a vinyl record,
yeah, I could, cause I have like some reputable like thing I can give out, some information, cause I've done it for like a a good amount of years now, a long amount of time to have an opinion and give a viewpoint that is actually validated, because I actually have some experience. But here's the problem: when you have people who have conversations professionally, they have it because they have merit, because they have like years and years of experience in this medium, like comedians, they start podcasts because talking is their lives, talking is who they are, right? Professors and philosophers, yeah, they make their own podcasts because they've professed their beliefs and views and how the world can change and this and that for years and years and years, and then they make a podcast, and they may not even be that popular, but they're there. They're there for like Jordan Peterson, fucking psychologist, clinical psychologist for like multitudes of years, then makes a podcast. I'll be honest, the audio quality is trash. I always comment like, hey, could you please fix your mic, because it sounds like garbage. But other than that, he's still a provocative figure that I love to listen to. So when I have the why you do this? Why are we doing this now?
Is that your question to me?
What do you gain from this? Other than, us hanging out, which is, fun stuff.
I guess you could say mental openness.
Openness.
Knowing that we're talking about something that maybe we might have contradicting opinions.
Because, I know, like, I don't like being serious. I like joking. I don't like, because I remember in like a few years in the squad.
It also gives my thoughts some sort of relevance in the situation that, like, we're talking about in a podcast.
A few years back in the squad, that's the friend group. I was considered like the dumb guy, and I enjoyed being the dumb guy because that meant I never have to try with my mind. And then once it blew me, like when the in God of War, Kratos says "boy," when he says it, it's so provocative because he doesn't say it all the time. That's how it is when I start using my intellectual thought. So then I think this is where I'm coming in, where I get it, is that I like to use this platform as a way to present that intellectual output a little bit, because. Yeah. I'm not dumb. I'm dumb, of course. I'm retarded, pretty much. But I still have some opinions on some things. And I think, because when I see... Oh, we'll get to a topic that we were going to talk about. I talked to you earlier about. Sofia Vergara, I guess more so relevant, Gordon Ramsay. A video came out of an old Jimmy Kimmel interview that he did with Sofia Vergara and Gordon Ramsay about maybe 5 years ago or something crazy like that. And 5 years ago on the show, Gordon Ramsay and Sofia Vergara was being interviewed, and then out of nowhere, or I guess during the interview, he would touch her thigh, or he would make say very not insulting, but he would say sexually triggered comments, and then people decided all this time later to bring it up to the limelight, hey, this guy shoots all his brand deals. He should be torched down to a brim and all this stuff for the acts that he made 5 years ago. And this is why I'm bringing this up. I'll tell you why. Because I only told him before we recorded that I just told him Sofia Vergara. I didn't tell him the whole thing. The reason I bring this up is I think people look, because the one thing that you learn in childhood, don't look at things from face value. Don't read a book by its cover. You have to go deeper into a certain topic or situation to find out the true story about it. Okay, because realistically, I would think, okay, probably Sofia Vergara and Gordon Ramsay are friends, and they're playful in that way. So it's not weird that the fact that they decided that he had that weird sexually, weirdly driven, whatever. It may not be, may not seem well suited for the Tonight Show. Yeah, maybe not. But at the same time, to look at it at face value and make a full decision because of that.
Yeah, you don't know the relationship behind closed doors.
Yeah, because many problems are example with the whole Christmas song thing, the whole Christmas song debacle that everyone was getting mad about, it's Baby It's Cold Outside, that song. I think I've told you about the behind the scenes. Yeah, I did. Basically the clips of it. It's it was a party song. The lady and the guy liked to sing it. Then they brought it into the studio. They sung it. And then it became a Christmas classic. Then 50 years later, I have contacts out of all this, time after it's gone by. oh, the air conditioning's coming on. That's probably gonna, or whatever. After all this time, suddenly they bring it back into the limelight, and then they start breaking it down. They're like, oh, he's talking about drugging her. He's talking about raping her. How dare he? This guy should be, offended. Well, the guy's dead, but the lady who sung the song's still alive, and they wanted her to comment and like be like, well, how dare you say this? How dare you promote women being raped? It's like, no, what? This was just a party song. Why are you getting angry? You're not digging. You're not finding out the true fact of the matter. You're just looking at it from face value.
Yeah, really. If the artist,
assumption.
him or herself, is saying that the song's not meant for that, then why are you taking it in the context that it's not?
Because the problem is, I think most of us, we see one tweet, we see one video, we see one post of some time,
and we're like, oh, it was meant to be that way.
Yeah, and then
when it's only one perspective of the matter.
And then we take all that. We take all of that, and then we just see that one post, that one picture, and then we just make a full opinion from that, even though we don't have the full story. I think that's mostly the problem. So, like, if some news source, some reputable news source like CNN, posts something that's wrong, then a day later they correct themselves. It doesn't matter. The damage is already done, because after that, people don't go back and see the second post. So a lot of them don't see it. So they have this opinion that's fully structured. Like, they don't see the second post of them apologizing and saying they're wrong. So they're just like, oh, this full from the opinion that I have is from a lot of falsities, a lot of false realities, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Do you really not remember the other topic that we had?
No, I do.
Oh, he does. Oh wait, no, actually, no. Don't say it. Okay. So last episode we ended. Remember what we ended on? Or did you blank out?
No, it was about religion.
Yes, and you had a very lengthy intro about religion. So I'm gonna try to clue back into like my Rolodex about what I had on that. But mostly, I'm agnostic. I say I'm atheist because that's like what I believe right now. But I'm really agnostic. If I see proof to show that something is real, then some religion is real, then I'll believe in it. Yeah, sure. And your case, tell me if I'm wrong, or you say cliff notes of what your case was in religion.
I mean, I can mention them if you want. So basically, I believe that there's a God out there. I believe that nothing, like, something couldn't have just came from nothing. There had to be some sort of external thing out there that
Entity,
kind of contributed to that, such as like a God or some sort of bigger being than just humanity itself, that made, whether it was the Big Bang or just the creation of the universe in some other way happen. To me, it just couldn't have came from nothing.
Alright, okay, yeah, whatever. Okay, so the one big problem I have is that if you look at this, okay, so you're not necessarily a Christian, is that what you're gonna say?
I mean,
are you just saying you're a Christian because that's like that's the American thing to say?
No, I mean, I believe in God.
Yeah.
But people classify God as, like, I don't know, this guy who's gonna like judge you for what you do wrong and stuff like that. And of course, like, and of course, I mean, there's gonna be, judgment when you do like stuff that obviously isn't right.
Wait, so you believe in the Catholicist God? The God of three persons?
I mean, that's the way I was brought up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if there was any God that I would believe in, it would probably be that type.
But because of your like background, because of your
that's because that was just my bringing up.
Okay. The
bringing up of myself.
Do you ever question it? Like, why? Because here's the one problem I have. There's a lot of weird quirks that doesn't make sense. Like, if you believe in the Catholicist God, then you believe that Adam and Eve, came about and they had a bunch of incest babies. Those incest babies had incest babies, and then it became a whole thing. The one thing I don't understand about Christianity is that if Adam and Eve had a baby, or had two babies, whatever, then those babies had incest. And believe it or not, if the records show, having incest does not result in the best product.
From what I heard, Adam and Eve, it's just...
Well, it's supposed to be like a memorable tale. It's like, oh no, it's just an odd man's tale.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a story meant for the moral.
But like, it's like, how many X's, how many wrongs to rights do you have to find in a book and in a philosophy before you say, all right, it's kind of bullshit. Like, you have to believe that Moses, fucking split the Red Sea. You have to believe Jesus walked on water. But you don't believe that Adam and Eve was a thing because it's been debunked. And if you believed in it, you'd be pretty much like saying you're a flat earther in some type of way. If you believe in some type of viewpoint that's been debunked, like I feel like slowly and slowly, parts of Christianity are being debunked, and just the people just don't want to accept that maybe they're not right, just because it's an old little like philosophical tale of just like I'm not saying there's not points you can take from Christianity that would be really good in real life to emulate.
Let me tell you, I mean, I would classify myself as a Christian,
I guess,
from the belief that there is a God,
I guess,
and stuff like that.
Well, that would make you agnostic then, if you're just believing in the general sense of God.
Okay, well then I guess you could classify me as agnostic, but I was brought up as a Catholic, so I kind of like went in between that, and I was like, well, I go to church, sometimes, like occasionally with my family.
Yeah.
But anyway, aside from that, jeez.
Are you getting tired?
No, it was just I lost my train of thought.
Are you on God?
Okay, no, I remember now.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much open. Like I went and I studied Buddhism.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean you went?
Like I studied Buddhism through high school. We had to do projects on religion, and I didn't go to a Catholic high school pertaining to any sort of religion, but there were people in my class that needed to do stuff on the Sikh religion, people that needed to do stuff on Buddhism.
It was a project?
Yeah, and I wrote a paper on it.
Oh, so because I thought by study you meant like you spent years like reading the Quran or whatever the fuck.
No, but
not Quran, but you know what I mean. The Torah.
I spent the better part of like 3 weeks learning the background of it.
Yeah.
And having wrote a paper on it and finding out the different stuff about Buddhism, I've come to appreciate the fact that Buddhism is actually a belief. And I feel like it should be respected a little more, and it shouldn't be frowned upon by other religions. It's like
it's respected upon. It's just that in America we don't see, because it's not our main religion. Like India has Buddhism, we have Christianity.
Right, but it's just like certain religions, like Catholics, and like if you're Buddhist or whether you believe in some other religion, when someone of a different religion, tries to put their say in, or they had a different thought on something, it's like they don't seem open to it, and they kind of like scorn you for it. You know what I mean?
Do you have an example?
No, but it just like seems that way. Like if like I don't know, just from my observations in like the Christian community, like or not even that, but the Catholic community, it just seems like if you were to bring up a different thought,
because like the Pope,
rather than something that was brought up in like Catholicism, it just seems like people aren't as open to it. It just like religiously doesn't seem right to them,
because the Pope has like his viewpoint, like of course he believes in like Catholicism. At the same time he'll meet up with those religious leaders, and he'll be like, he'll meet with the Buddha. Yeah, sure. It's like, okay, he's a cool guy, he's a Buddha. I mean, I may not believe in his beliefs, but he's a cool guy. I mean, the thought that maybe there's like little pockets of like Americans that believe like, if you believe in this and you're kind of like crazy, or they have their own viewpoints. Yeah, there's just those. Of course, there's gonna be those pockets of people. But the majority, because the fact of the matter is, we have to realize that none of us really know. If you come out, if you're like a Mormon, you can knock on somebody's door, and we say the meaning of life, we know what's gonna happen when you die. You're wrong. You don't have proof. No one has legitimate proof. The fact that if anybody said, if any body, if any religion, if any public public figure, whatever, came out and said, I know what happens when you die, you're wrong. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to all of us. So, I think in that regard, I think that there is a value, because I would love to read the Torah and the Quran and the Bible more thoroughly. But if you wanted to truly believe in one religion, if you really want to expand your mind, holding yourself to one religion kind of seems, I know there's a lot of philosophers though that and like doctors and like very well knowledge people that believe in Catholicism, believe in other religions, and I respect their beliefs, but at the same time I have a certain type of feeling that if you really want to expand your mind and become intellectually broadened, you cannot be strapped down by like one religion. To have that belief, I don't really understand the reasoning.
Exactly. I think it's unique too. It's very unique, being able to see things from a different perspective. Maybe. I mean, also aside from that, you're getting knowledge on a different perspective in religion, and even like, you don't even need to call it, religion, but you can call it a different experience mentally. that allows you to open yourself up to something new.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like
that's the way I looked at it.
like
Was
doing
like a different
psychedelics.
experience, mentally.
Yeah.
And so I felt like, I don't know, it just helped me understand a little bit more about society, whether it was past or, present, maybe even what's to come for society in the future. But the fact that, like, there's different parts of society that have different thought processes about their own religious practices or even just different daily practices. I feel like that's something that people should respect a little bit more.
Do you think that in the future, not in the future, in our lifetime, we're gonna see Catholicism or some type of religion fail, just fall flat on its ass, or become close to non-existent?
I mean, from what it seems right now, atheism is kind of
On the
taking
rise.
things by storm.
Yeah.
Across the nation,
Hilarious. I love it.
across the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a lot to do with, the broadening.
I mean, do you think it's
people
gonna?
mentally.
Do you think you're gonna see it die? See Catholicism die out?
Very, very specific religions, I feel like you're probably gonna see die.
Like what?
Within the next, I don't know, 200-300 years.
Like what? Like,
I don't know, like,
because the problem is all religions are
I don't know, because you know how when you look into Christianity and like you see Catholicism, or you see like Baptist, or you see like Methodist, stuff that I brought up in our last podcast, like I feel like all that kind of stuff is just kind of going to be abandoned, and it's just going to be like, oh, well, it's either you believe in a god or you don't.
Yeah, because like I think one we're definitely gonna see go. I feel like Amish is gonna go. It's already teetering. It's like it's not even like, I think it's pretty much just a lifestyle. It's not even really a belief anymore. Like or maybe not necessarily more like a lifestyle, not a belief. Because if you go to like
that's
Amish,
what it seems like.
Yeah, like Amish markets have been such, because Amish markets have like a lot of good shit, And
but I mean, they also speak their own language too. So I mean, that's
Amish?
something that keeps.
What's their language?
Huh?
What's their language?
I don't know. Like I've heard it on like what's it, Breaking Amish or something like that. Like
yeah,
they have their own language and stuff like that. I'm not sure what it's called, but yeah.
I think that's one that's gonna definitely go. Like ones like Scientology. I know it doesn't seem like a popular one, and it's kind of retarded to like fall guy named Joseph Smith or whatever we would call his name. But there's like some like Scientology I think it's gonna last, because actually I found out recently they have a lot of real estate. Did you know this? Like,
no.
Catholicism, I mean, like, one thing that religions do, they'll get real estate, so, like, they'll have, like, a bunch of markets in real estate. So even if there's not a lot of followers, they still have the ground. You're still getting money in. So, really, if you have that type of backing, your thing's never going to go away. Now,
it's like the archdiocese.
Yeah.
They kind of have a lot of money.
Yeah, they have a lot of properties, but it's starting to go down slowly.
Yeah.
Because they're depending on.
You see a lot of school closings, different stuff like that, church closings.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get really small. Well, not really small, but it's gonna become lesser. Like, there's no way.
You think it's ever gonna be so small? It's gonna be like almost
just
like a cult.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Because I think if you don't know the true broad spectrum, like Buddhism, Islam, and all those other religions, they're actually really big. Like, bigger than you might think. Like, Buddhism is a really big religion.
But there's a reason they're big,
Why?
It's just because, like, religions like that, like I said earlier in the podcast, it's just, like, it mentally leaves you more open from the time that you spent, learning about it, rather than when you were just going in to, see what it was about,
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not a specific religion with specific practices, that you need to like carry out, or else like the Amish religion, if you're to like leave them, you'll be shunned or something like that.
Yeah, that's just
and then you need to do a bunch of stuff to get back into it. It's just like, it's not like that with those type of religions, as far as I know.
I
mean, don't bash me on it because I'm not like totally sure, but that's what it seems like based on their communities.
Yeah, because most religions, the reason most people are for most religions,
and like Scientology, like these are very like, these are seemingly small communities, and I could see why. Because the people that leave it get shunned. Most
reason that people have a certain religion is mostly because of where they're born. That's just a simple fact. If you're born in India, you're gonna have this religion most likely. If you're born in America, you're most likely gonna be a Christian. if you're born in another, foreign country, Australia, I don't give a shit, you're gonna have some certain type of religion. That's just how statistically most people choose their religions, how it works. And in America, I think the reason that atheism has risen by storm is that the rise of the internet, and how free-form media has become such an outlet for people to express their thoughts. Like if you saw recently on YouTube, there's this guy, the Jesus guy. Have you heard about? You know the Jesus guy, right? Jesus guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who's he has I forgot what the website's called, but the website where you can pay money, and then you'll get a special message back for by some dude. Either it's the meme. I don't know what the guy's name is. Fucking Pete, the voiceover guy, or it's by the Jesus guy. Well, the Jesus guy. Little story, little cliff note about him. When he fuck, I gotta recuperate because I haven't seen it in a day or two. He put out a video of him fighting for custody of his children, and he said when he was younger, he was born into a cult, and then he had these beliefs. But then with the help of YouTube and social media and the internet, he was able to see that his beliefs were wrong, and he got out of there. But now there's still people that are still stuck in those ways that are, I guess, wrong. I don't know exactly what cult he's in, but they're still stuck in those ways, and they're trying to put that against him as a way to take him out, to take him away from his children, because of the beliefs that he has are different from theirs. They're trying to shun him out. So it just makes me think, to what degree, to what point is this stupidity gonna last, and how long are we gonna deal with it? Because after a certain point, after a certain year, we're gonna find out that most, if not all, human beings are gonna use the internet in some fashion. Because I know, for me, I think of myself as in my 30s or 40s. I'll be have my own house in middle America somewhere. I'll be chopping trees, building my own log cabins. I have that type of outlook on life.
Yeah, I know. It's the coolest thing. I was thinking about Alaska and stuff like that.
But then I'm still gonna have internet, but it's not gonna be at my house. Maybe I may have it once I'm blue from traveling, I'll go on the internet. Then.
But again, I kind of want a nice car too and stuff like that.
It's still because with the internet now, it's gonna soon be so you can find anything you want. I saw stuff online, and I saw maybe 1 or 2 a day, maybe. But those people from every part of the world, Arizona to Texas to Las Vegas, everywhere. And with that outlook, the internet has actually helped me a lot in that way, So I'm hoping that with the internet, because I know there's a lot of bad that comes with it, but the good I think outweighs the bad. Do you think the internet has done more detriment to our society, more bad, or has done more good?
I mean, if we could talk about it from a different standpoint, say convenience, and the way that it makes obtaining knowledge easier, I feel like it's beneficial in that way. But when we look at it from the fact that people can just open their mouths and say whatever they want, and I mean that gets kind of it's a gray area for me because it's controversial. I mean, you could choose not to listen to people's opinions, that's one thing, but people also have that ability to be able to spread negativity on social media and let it grow. And then when it grows large enough, it becomes outrage. That's the bad part about it. That's the part that I don't like.
Well, it can only grow so much because it has to be a tight-knit community for it to be actually for a bad opinion or a bad idea to go to go mainstream. No bad idea put into mainstream's eyes is going to be accepted unless it's really good. If it's really good for society, if a bunch of Nazi guys came into a group, decided to make their own Twitter page and put it public, it would get hellstorm of just insult and you're a bigot and you should die, you should kill yourself, because that's you're wrong. When put into a public forum, the people just don't agree with you. They believe your opinion is wrong. So I think in that way, that's where that's where the internet just takes out all the BS. And it only gives us the good stuff, in that type of way.
Yeah, I guess you could say it's sort of its own censorship, its own filter.
If YouTube, when YouTubers do something that's type of something that's not that's kind of what's the word? That's greedy. They'll do that an advertisement that of a product that isn't good for the viewers, or it's a type of scam, or they do something to that degree. The viewers will scold them for a long fucking time. because that affects your career. That shows, oh, you're not genuine. Like this guy named Clean Prince Gaming, I think his name is. And he does gaming gaming news and stuff like that. And they found out that the gaming like video that he would play in the background wasn't his own. And then the people scold him for it. Scolded him for like months and months and months. They're still scolding him now. In every video, you can see the dislike ratio to like ratio is still like faltered. But it's because of the thing you did. People found out you were doing something that wasn't genuine, and then they fought you for it. And then he finally changed it, and he puts like a little title at the beginning. It's like all the gameplay in the beginning in the video is my own. But now you're gonna get a bunch of backlash for like a long while, and you learn from it. Right. I think that's where the internet comes in and it helps you out. If you do something wrong, I'll let you know you did something wrong. We personally didn't appreciate it, and you're gonna, through time and through just keeping on, doing what you're doing and changing as you grow, it's gonna make you more better person. It's gonna make you a better person in society. It's gonna make you a better person on the platform and make you more genuine.
So you think the internet?
That's a good because it
helps people to find that political correctness.
Political correctness. I mean, peace. Well,
yeah, like if you could talk about it in that way.
Yeah, it helps shell out bullshit. If there's bullshit, it'll just call it out as it is. Right. Like, nah, this is bullshit, bro. The Earth is not flat. That's why flat earthers have to go to like little convention centers and like Hilton Inns, because that viewpoint's kind of retarded to have. But it's gotten retarded viewpoints have just become so mainstream. It's kind of
if they really wanted
like
to show proof, I would think why don't you just take a boat across the world or find?
Because they said
why don't you find an edge of the earth and fall off?
No, because they said they can't because the government will stop them. That's the reason. Because the government will stop them before they get close enough to see the wall, like they're in some type of like Truman Show world. That's the reasoning behind it. No one's ever tried because that's what they say is going to happen. Yeah,
it's like no one actually had the balls to try it.
Yeah,
so
well,
it's like, why should we believe it?
There was that one guy who launched himself into space.
Right. At least in different religions or different beliefs, there were people like Jesus, and he died. He sacrificed himself for the better of mankind.
I'm gonna piss people off in a second, but go on.
You know what I mean, though? Like, he was able to help contribute to the belief of the religion that we have now. So where people like flat earthers, they're not willing to, or no one's willing to stand up and do something to help people realize, oh, maybe this is logical, or maybe this does have reason behind it. We all know it doesn't anyway, but there was no one who attempted to try.
Was Jesus ever known for giving his own philosophy on life? Oh well, no, I guess he did. Yeah, you should treat everybody like you want to be treated. Okay, yeah, I understand that. So you believe that Jesus was a real person?
Because of the way I was raised, yeah.
So you do? Okay, all right, that's fine.
And that's why I remain, Christian. That's why when you said agnostic, kind of.
Do you ever look at your?
Do I question the fact that okay, could it be Buddha, or could it be
or could it be no one,
the Christian God, or anything like that?
Yeah.
When I look at God, I don't classify him as a certain religious God. I classify him as God.
As general God.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable in having this term as God, just to have it there as something to fall back on? Do you still go to church at all?
I go to church very rarely. I feel like, I don't know, whenever I go to church, I go to a Catholic parish and everything, but it's just whenever I go, I don't know, I don't feel like I get anything from being there. If I were to read the Bible, I'm pretty sure I might be able to pull something from it.
Yeah.
More than just going to church.
I can get
to listen to the gospel or a homily or whatever.
Yeah, I can get something from a Charles Dickens book, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Because I just don't. Life's too short to be.
I feel like it's better to interpret it in the way that either the book says or the way that you want to understand it, because in your own light, individually, you're gonna believe in whatever religion you want to believe in, and that's going to be your opinion on it, you know? And no matter how you decide you want to believe in that religion, or no matter how you want to interpret that religion, it's going to be your way of believing in it. It's your life. You do what you want to do with that religion and that interpretation.
Okay.
You know?
Because the reason I push is because I'm an all in, all out type of guy. So like if I'm like I'm either all into this like whole Christianity bullshit, or I'm out. Because I can't be doing this whole, because life's too short to have like this wishy washy thing. Where like, oh, well, I believe he's a person, or like, you know, I believe he's an entity that's around us and he has created this life for us.
So you think my thought process is
no, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying how my perspective, like how my beliefs are made. How, like, if I believe that this person's right, that person's wrong. I'm not saying that I believe in black and whites on every situation, but when it comes to religion or very, you know, speculative thought like that, it becomes to a very black and white situation.
Right.
Like, because here's the problem. Here's this one. I'm going to give you an example.
Okay.
With abortion, okay? Because you're either pro or against, okay? You either have to be against it or you have to be for it. Because you can't.
Now with me, like I said, it depends on the situation.
Because you can't give like if you're like for comedy, for example, if you're gonna be offended by one thing, you have to be offended by everything. Okay, there's no in between. I know abortion and comedy are very different things. You can't compare it, but I'm just trying to give it in a way that I can explain it. So if you're offended by one thing that affects you personally, then you have to be offended by everything. Then you don't have a sense of humor, and you can't watch any comedy. Because if you're not mad about that person making a little Chinese joke, then you end up being like some type of racist. You end up being some type of bigot. You end up being a hypocrite because you're offended by something that affects you.
Now, what if
personally.
you looked at it in a situation where someone in your family, like, because, you know, a lot of people like bringing up different terms like, oh, you know, he's slow, or, you know, he's a retard or something. Yeah. So, like, when people bring up that term or use that sort of terminology, what if you had someone that was in your family, or like a very close relative, or someone that actually had that type of disorder, or let's say they had something like autism? Okay. You know, a lot of people throw that term out there, like, oh, dude, you're autistic, you know, type of stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
Do you think that should be looked at as offensive from your point of view?
Because if you're, okay, think about it like this. If you're a comedian, what's your goal? Your goal is to make people laugh. It's not to offend. Your intent is for laughter. Is not to harm people.
Yeah.
So when you're getting offended by a joke, and that shows you have some type of weak link to that thing. Now, you can be offended all you want. Yeah, sure. But you have to be able to realize and disconnect from that situation. He's not
right. I see it
you.
The same way you do.
He's just saying a joke. So for you to get offended is kind of, you know, it's kind of dumb. It's kind of you're not thinking it through. Right. You're just thinking, oh, this guy's attacking me because he said this thing about, you know, my autistic brother. But at the same time, he can joke about Jews.
I think it's because people look at like autism and different mental disabilities as something like, you know,
something
I mean,
you can't joke about.
Just because it's like, I guess they see it as a serious matter, you know, because like children are born with it, and you know they can't help it.
I mean, it's not
or the fact that it's like detrimental and it affects their life, and you know they're not able to live their life the same as other kids because of that disorder.
Are you talking about comedy in general, or are you just talking about those mental illnesses? Are you talking about comedy?
I'm talking about from a mental illness standpoint.
Oh, okay, from that point of view.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. I see it in both ways, but when it comes to me, am I offended by people bringing up that sort of terminology and saying it? No, but I mean, do I understand it from both standpoints? Yeah, definitely.
Do you think in 5 years you'll still have the same viewpoint on religion? Or do you think that possibly I could sway you? I could show you that being atheist is the right way to go? Or do you think that because I can't say what you think you're going to be like in 5 years, because there's no way to tell. But
I think there's probably a 25% chance that you're going to persuade me.
I mean,
I'm pretty open.
I don't want you to believe anything I believe. I don't want to persuade you in any way and try to make you feel like I have to force you. I don't want to force you, make it feel like I'm forcing you to change your ways. That's not my intention at all.
No.
I just want to present you with the facts, and how it's presented, and
present me with the facts. Yeah,
present me with the facts, and then you can take that information as it may.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, when I brought up my religion, right, and the way that I believed in things, what do you take from that? Like, what's your opinion on my?
My opinion, because I don't know either, so I can't really give a strong opinion on it. All I can say is that I believe in evidence. I believe in logic and reason. And then when I look at religion, when I look at specifically Christianity, I don't seek logic and reason. I see a lot of wishy-washy methods. I see a lot of, undescript, stories about like, oh, this guy is just trying to say a metaphor, or he's trying to say that thing. He's just trying to give a message, but it didn't actually happen. But that actually happened. That Red Sea trick, that happened. But the whole Adam and Eve thing, they've disproven that through science, so that didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say in the book whether it really happened or not. You're supposed to just believe that.
Just 50 years ago, one of the things in the Bible are that were suddenly truths, and everyone believed it, are suddenly not truths because it's been disproven. And how many things have to get proved, getting disproven, in that logic in that religion before you say, okay, maybe this isn't what it is. Maybe I was wrong about this religion. Maybe what I'm believing right now is just brought up because it just seems like such a trend to follow. That everyone from all this history, there's so much history here. It has to be real. Like, I feel like that's what most people believe in. They're like, there's so much history here. It's been 2,000 years of this religion going on. This has to be a religion that's actually faithful. It has to be real in some aspect. But the truth of the matter is, you're not the only religion out there. Buddhism, Islam, all these people, because I feel like inherently as humans, there are some things that we need. We need to socialize. We need to have human contact. And one thing I think we need to have, since we're conscious beings, is that we need to have a belief system. Because we speculate, what is the afterlife? What is the thing that makes us special? What's the thing that is going to happen after I close my eyes and I never open them back up? And then I feel like Christianity, for some people, it gives them some type of like hole to go into. It gives them some type of selection box to check out. That's what it gives them. That gives them that security. And if it gives them that security, go all for it. But if you're trying to actually explore your mind and see life for how it really is, I believe that seeing a religion and seeing it as a truth and these others as, just minor forms of yours is kind of a dumb viewpoint to have. Because how many things do I have to disprove in your religion before you say, okay, maybe it's a little bullshit?
I feel like the whole religion needs to be flipped over on its back before people would really decide.
I mean, I think the whole rape thing kind of helped that out a little bit. But, hey, they have such a stronghold over there in fucking Rome, wherever they are. In the capital, like, whatever, in Catholicist land. That's never going to be really flipped over. They're like their own mafia. Like, literally. They've done mafia deals in the 60s. You can research it. The mafia, you've seen it in Godfather. The mafia and Christianity have been in cahoots for years. There's a reason they have a temple. There's a reason they can afford to build churches in 2019. It's because of these things. But hey, there's no thing written down about it, so you can't believe it. I'm just saying, if you want to have a broader thought on life, you have to be able to go over that stepping stone and say, you know what, I'm gonna be an outcast on this one, and say I'm gonna stop following the trend of being a Christian because it fills out a box. It puts me in a place. It's a good thing to say at family parties.
I also just listen to this. I also feel like when we look at death and the afterlife, all we see is uncertainty, and that's what brings about this fear of death and the afterlife. And with believing in a religion of some sorts, we get this. Get this ideology that there is something out there, and we don't need to speculate about the afterlife as much because we have an idea of what's to come. When in reality, we're not sure.
Yeah, because I hate it when people use it as
people are just looking for some certainty about the afterlife as well. I feel like
I hate it when people use it as a get out jail free card. It's like, well, you'd be better to follow it. So if it is true, you don't go to hell. It's like, what? Really? So I'm gonna be judged, and then I don't check off that box on your marking table, and suddenly I'm in hell now. Is that how that works?
In my sense, I just think you can't be judged. You can't be judged if you believe in something. If let's just say to the atheists out there that don't believe, it's just like,
in the Bible it said to kill gays, right? It said to stone gays. If you're gay, you are stoned. If you're into male intercourse, you should be stoned. That's what it said in the Bible.
I know they're against
in the Old Testament.
I know they're against all that type of homosexuality.
I guess now they are.
Yeah.
In the past 20 years.
I didn't know. I didn't know it was anything about stoning.
Yes. Killing gays. Killing people, like, make them fuck goats and weird shit like that.
I also feel like the government doesn't really get
Read
involved
Leviticus,
with
my guy. You'll have a ball. Leviticus is a great chapter of the Bible. It shows you a lot about
I like Revelations.
Oh, yeah.
And Genesis. I like learning about
the 7 days, the clean version of the Bible. You check out Leviticus, you're gonna see some stuff that opens your eyes up. Just be like, oh, really? So So you think you should stone children that
says the atheist?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
read
married out of
Leviticus, you know?
Yeah, it's a fun because it's kind of like a comedy. It's like, wow, there's millions of people that believe in this, but this isn't here. This is crazy. This is a crazy belief to have now. If you took the Bible from the context of then and bring it into today's society, the shitstorm on Twitter, all the trigger happy little weird hipster chicks are gonna start blowing their minds like, oh my gosh, he said stone gays? Fuck God, we need to get God down here and stone him right now.
The fact that you subjected that topic to like
because
women
if we're
would get them triggered.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's mostly women because men, it's gay dudes, whatever. But if you were to take the Bible out of context from then till now, you'll see so many errors, so many things that are not a good ideology to have in today's standards. So if you were to take it then and put it into now, it would be thrown into a shitstorm. But no one's gonna do that because of all the people that are behind it. It's like you can get outraged about this, that, and the other thing about something that happened 60 years ago with a celebrity, but you're not going to get outraged about this thing that came out thousands of years ago that has a tradition that has many wrong beliefs in it, but compared to today's standards, and you're still going to follow it because you have some type of like tradition to follow that belief, even though there's so many errors in that logic. Right. So many errors. So many, dude. Like, I'm going to show you. I'm staring him in the fucking eye right now. I'm going to show you one. I'm going to search it. I'm going to type in Leviticus quotes. it's gonna be just a shit story.
You're just going to blow my mind.
Like, I'm doing like the Hannibal Buress, like, hey, you know Bill Cosby raped people, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, you know God, like, told people to stone gays, right? Like, you know that? Like, he said it. Like, people who, like, fuck goats should, like, be stoned. Like, it's just some weird shit like that. How long have we been doing this, guy? What's our time?
We're at about 51
Jesus Christ.
minutes
We've
and
been
30
doing
seconds.
this too long. Alright, well, okay, I got one more topic I want to go into.
Just do it. We'll make it an hour.
We'll make it an
It's
hour.
whatever. It's an hour podcast.
It may be a little bit over an hour because I think I wanted to get into this pretty deep, but I'll try to make it fast for us. Alright, so I'm trying to truly understand what women want. Like, what do they want? Do they want equality? Well, they got it. Okay, it's just a lot of big things.
I mean, when we look at stuff like, are we going to go into feminism in that sense? Oh, because I'm just saying, if you're looking at it from a feminist perspective, there's like feminists that I guess you can almost call extremists because they do take feminism.
I mean, what do you mean by feminist though? You can't just say feminist. Feminist, the definition of feminist has changed so much in the past year.
It does. I feel like there's
like extreme feminists. There's feminists that are like, you know, very wishy-washy about it. Like, I would say I'm a feminist. I believe any like.
No, I'm talking about like the extremists.
Okay.
So those type that believe like.
I don't think we should give those people power. I really don't think we should give them like because
exactly.
they're so small. It's such a small group.
I feel like
and they don't have a strong.
They're
opinion.
almost ludicrous in a sense.
Yeah, they are.
You know, just because it's like, you know, women power. It's like screw men or like we you know like where's the woman president? Crap like that. You know, like they get really like pissed about it, different stuff like that. And I mean, when we look at it from like a wage standpoint,
that's not real.
If women don't get paid as much as men,
that's not real.
Yeah,
it's not real.
I didn't.
Do you not know it wasn't real?
Isn't it like in the civil rights or something like that?
Okay, like I'm gonna give you the cliff notes because if you want to hear,
I believe
the wage gap isn't real. Okay, I'll just tell you the cliff notes. So if anybody wants to search it up, search up Jordan Peterson wage gap. He explains it very thoroughly, way better than I can with my dumb, voice with like the slurring of the words and shit. Okay, pretty much cliff notes. They say that women are paid 75 cents to the dollar compared to men, and that's not true because men. Oh wait, no, Ben Shapiro. Actually, Ben Shapiro. I'm sorry, Ben Shapiro wage gap. Okay, so women do less hours than men. Women do less physical work than men. Women do less careers than men. It's just very general ideas that make sense if you actually look into it. Again, this goes back to looking at something at face value, not looking beyond the cover of a book. That's what you're doing right now. If you look at that wage, that title, like 75 cents to the dollar, women are paid more than men. Women are paid less than men. That's just not true. If you go deep into it, if you actually read the book instead of just reading the cover and the cliff notes of it, you're gonna find out that you're wrong, and there's actually a reason that it says that fact. Okay, we're not saying that women are getting paid purposefully less than men, and there may be some situations that they are getting paid less than men. Okay, I'm not going to say that there isn't any scenario where that isn't happening.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there are bosses out there that are like that because they're
and no
sexist pigs.
And I like how no one's ever questioned.
It's not the general population. You know, it's not the majority of people that's like that. There's a select few people that are sexist pigs. You know? So I don't think that should be taken out on all men. You know, I feel like a lot of women take that out on men. Like, they have this secret mission to, like, I don't know, just, like, talk down about women, or that we're out to just destroy women in every fashion that we possibly can. When it's
all right,
not true.
Okay. So I didn't even want to go. This isn't even the talk situation. Okay. So I said, okay, on the side note of...
And it's not like that's all women. It's just like the extreme feminists.
Okay.
There are different feminists that pertain to that almost extreme quality.
Okay, it doesn't matter. They're nothing. They're nothing to me. I don't care. Okay, so the main thing I want to talk about is on the thing if men should be able to hit women. Because the argument that people are having is that if you want equal rights, then if you assault a man, you should be able to hit them back. Because there's a video I saw, I will show it to you after this. It's hilarious. I wish I could link. I'll link it below, I'll link in the video description after this. If a woman hits you first, if she starts to assault you, don't you have the right to hit them back? And people argue that you shouldn't because they're women, they're gentle, they're fragile. But at the same point, if you're a feminist and you want to, if you want equal rights, then that's another part of it. Because you can't just take the good without the bad. Okay, the good is the good is like suddenly you get equal pay. If they're going to like their side.
Yeah, and it's also like it's also the fact that there's certain jobs that women just can't do as well as men, and that men just can't do as well as women. You know, like women are scientifically supposed to be more complex mentally than what men are.
No. Not complex. You're saying men are dumb. No, this is the last one.
No, I'm not. No, but there's like supposed to be scientific evidence showing that women are supposed to be generally a little bit smarter than men. They're supposed to have a mental edge.
No, they're not.
You know, do I want to agree with that?
It's wrong.
No,
you are wrong. No, I'm sorry.
No,
okay.
but
I'll tell you where you're wrong. I'll tell you. Okay, there's a reason.
Let me just finish.
Oh my god.
The physical.
Men invented tampons.
What?
Men invented tampons. The one thing that women stick up their cooter every month. That thing that women have as an essential need. We invented that. I'm sorry. We invented peanut butter. We invented the car. We invented all of these things. Okay, for you to say they're intellectually smart.
No, I've heard this. I've heard this.
You're wrong.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm sorry, you're wrong. Okay, I'll tell you where you're wrong and where you should have your. Okay, so
I'm not wrong, but the thought that I'm displaying here is wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong. Okay, no, let me say. Okay, so I'll say something that is actually proven. Okay, so women are.
I didn't even finish my point.
I'm sorry. Finish your point. I'm just saying you're wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Wrong
so then, I was.
They're not more mentally complex.
It's just the general thing that like some women can do stuff better than men, and some things men can do better than women. Like women want these equal rights as men. And it's just like, all right, well, there's some men out there that are like truck mechanics and they need to lift engines and do different stuff like that. And it's just like, some men need to carry like, I don't know, heavy weights and crates and different stuff like that to unload trucks. And like when women do that, it's just like, they just generally don't have as much muscle mass as men because men produce testosterone as opposed to estrogen.
All right, very basic thing.
Just different stuff like that. But that's the point that I'm trying to
Okay, so...
Just like they can't have those kind of
the woman, like, so the roles that make very basic, everyone can understand very generally. Okay, yeah, more physical roles, men are gonna have more part in. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, but more empathetic roles like being a nurse, being a caretaker, being some type of some type of person that has an emotional aspect like a therapist or whatever. Women are gonna be more prone to those careers because women are prone since they're meant to be mothers genetically, whatever. They are more prone to be more empathetic, be more emotional, be more open, open-heartedly, other than men. So when it comes to those roles, women take more part. That's why women are more nurses. That's why women are more caretakers.
So you don't think that from a psychological standpoint that they're a little bit more advanced than men?
No, they're not.
Because of
because when you say
because
advanced,
of that emotional aspect.
No,
which links back to
when you say
advanced,
when you say advanced, you're saying it as if they're like more genetically like developed than we are. That's what we're apes and they're like human beings. When you say advanced,
but I'm not denoting it to that respect,
Because if you wanted to say,
like I'm not that extreme about it.
Yeah, but that's what something you're saying. When you say advanced, the definition of advanced means like they're more progressed. They're better. They're a level up. That's what when you say advanced, it sounds like you're saying they're better than us, which is not true.
Right.
They're genetically speaking, they have things that they're better than us, like being more empathetic. Okay, men are more prone on being more, not emotional. They're not able to express themselves more. Okay, and then that's why. Well, no, actually, the studies have changed a little bit. But I was gonna say women are more subject to depression and more subject to suicide than men. But studies are showing that that's changing in today's society. But that's for a different time. Okay, but back to the source of it because we're almost over an hour now, I think. Okay, back to the source of it. Should men be able to hit women in today's society? Do you think so? If I was a woman, not me like physically, but me like just for the subject. If I came up to you and I hit you, okay, like I was drunk a little bit, maybe whatever, or I got into some sort of argument because you cut me off.
Okay, so like,
and then I hit you.
Are you playing like a woman role in this?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do the voice, but I think you can put the clips together.
Yes.
Okay, if I started hitting you. Okay, do you think you should have the right to defend yourself and sock me in the face, sock me square in the jaw? Or what would you do in your opinion?
What would I do?
Yes.
I would probably call the cops. And
oh my god. Well, I'm hitting you though. You're not gonna call the cops while I'm hitting you. I'm hitting you.
Right.
I'm punching you.
I'm pretty sure if I had a friend there that they would like keep her arms behind her back as I call 911.
Okay, I'm hitting you. I'm punching you. What are you doing? You don't have a friend there. It's just me and you. I see you in an alley or something. I start coming at you. I start punching you. What are you doing? You socking me in the face? You taking me down? You gonna let me keep on hitting you because I'm a woman?
I'm probably gonna try and like pin you down on like a floor or something and try and get someone to call the cops.
How if I go for your nuts? What are you doing then? I hit you in the nuts. What are you doing then?
I'd be pretty mad.
Okay, you hitting me then or you hitting me?
I mean, it depends on what age I am. I mean,
oh my gosh, just say
if I already had
why
kids,
are you afraid to say it?
Mad.
Just say you're gonna sock me in the face, sock me square in the jaw.
I'm
a woman.
I'm
a woman. God damn it!
I'm not violent.
I'm a woman.
I know you're. I know you're a woman.
I don't know.
I know.
I got real motivated on my role. All the estrogen started fucking spewing out of my eyeballs.
From like in totality, I feel like men shouldn't hit women. Women shouldn't hit men. None of the violence should happen.
Not perfect, my guy. I'm sorry to tell you. Okay, there's gonna be a drunk broad coming at you. She's like middle aged. You're like 25, and I'm gonna start hitting you. I'm gonna start going for your nonads. Right?
Yeah, and so,
now when that happens,
men do that when they're drunk too. I mean,
yeah, you're gonna hit me or you're not gonna hit me. You gotta choose A or B on this one, my guy. I need because we're having these discussions to force you to have opinions.
It would take a lot to piss me off.
I hit you in the nuts. I'm 45. I'm a little overweight. I have like a lazy eye.
I might like push you away pretty hard.
God. I'm still going for you, bro. I'm a little drunk. I have a little bit of coke in me. I'm ready to go. I'm kicking you in the nuts. I hit you in the nuts. I'm hitting you over and over again. I'm punching you.
The most I'm probably gonna do is like pin you down.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm pinning you down. I'm calling the cops.
You're a fucking gentleman. How dare you? I would knock that bitch square in the fucking jaw so fast. She wouldn't even see it coming.
But it's a different story if she's coming at me and she's like, it seems like she's really trying to kill me. You know, if like my life's on the line, that's when she's gonna get whopped.
Because I feel like I'm not gonna say I don't want to offend you, but I know you're not like the most athletic guy. You're more like a baseball type of build than like a football type of build. All right, yeah, right. I understand that, but I'm just saying when it comes down to it, when the purge goes down, and I'm a woman, I start slapping you. Okay, for you to say I'm gonna me at most tackle you. I want to hear you're gonna beat the shit out of her. I want to hear it. I want to hear you say. I want that opinion to come out. I want progress from this. But it's okay if you're just gonna push them on the ground.
It's not progress. It's just my opinion. It's the way I'm gonna react to the situation.
Okay, all right. I'm just gonna let you know. Oh, here, you're swearing the draw. She'd be knocked out. She got up. I knock her down again. Maybe a kick to the head like a soccer ball. I don't know. Maybe just a little messy shot. Goal, whatever. I may scream goal afterwards.
You're just gonna incapacitate him.
Not incapacitate. No, I'll just make sure they're not getting up.
I mean, a nice kick to the head, man.
Yeah. Like, a little concussion never hurt somebody.
Neck, maybe.
Yeah, like disconnect their spinal cord. Just let them know what's up.
A little curves.
Yeah, give them a scar to remember. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, if some woman touches me, starts assaulting me, she's being taken for a ride. Because if you're gonna enter this ride, look at me and say, you know what? I'm gonna square up with this guy. And let him know what's up. You're getting the full steam. You're getting the full steam engine, my guy. And if you can't take it, you can't take it. Okay, because if you want equal rights Okay, this is the one quote.
I mean,
I know it's ironic.
if it's a woman and she's like the same size as me, she's about as big as me. She seems threatening.
I'm 45.
There's a difference.
You're
I
25.
might try and defend myself.
I have a lazy
in the way
eye. I'm drunk and I'm coked. I'm coming for you. I'm really energetic. I have a lot of drugs in me. I'm middle-aged.
What kind of body profile are we talking?
I said I'm overweight. I'm slightly overweight. I have a lazy eye. I'm middle-aged. I have like a mole on my leg. You know, on my leg.
How tall are we?
How tall? I mean, I'm about your height, roundabout. I'm not like tough. Like I'm not like I don't muscle mass, but I have weight. A lot of weight. Not wobble weight.
Can you throw a punch? You can throw a punch.
I can definitely. Yeah, I have like monkey arms a little bit, but I could definitely throw a punch.
Okay, well, if I can't keep this woman pinned down as a last resort, I might have to try and knock you out.
I feel like the subject has gone a little too far, a little off the rails.
Yeah, probably.
Jesus Christ! I was hoping you just say you sock her in the face, but you have more sympathy than me.
I'm kind of sympathetic in that way, but if like you're a genuinely evil person, I'm probably. I mean,
she doesn't look like fucking like Ursula from like this Little Mermaid, but you know she doesn't look like a goddess, you know. All right, okay, I want to end it there.
Yeah, let's just end this.
I'm getting angry now.
Yeah, let's just kill it.
All right, okay. Well, it's been me, Jim Nalgize.
Oh, it's been a time.
Yeah,
and it's been just Dave.
And you've been listening to whatever the fuck this bullshit podcast is, and I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you enjoy the edit that I put in of the jazz music I put in last time. You probably didn't see that, did you? At the end, I put an edit of jazz.
No, I didn't see it.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys later.
All right. Yeah. Like, comment, share. Subscribe, hit that notifications bell and all that good stuff for more podcasts. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're gonna get the channel up, right, buddy?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
we're supposed to make a channel.
It's gonna happen if we have enough people that are interested in the podcast itself. But yeah, anyways, we will see you guys in the next podcast.